Peace. This is your boy Juice Wonder with another episode of Smoking Jokes, where we discuss today's topics while indulging in the greatest of herbal essences. This show today is brought to you once again by no other than that motherfucking cereal milk. Yeah, cereal milk. When I tell you the inspiration is real, the inspiration is real. You know, I've been pushing out a couple of shows within the last 2 days of me just smoking this bad boy. Oh, by the way, I'd like to introduce you to BB. This is my baby bong. You know what I'm saying? Yes, she's a sweet thing, and she's been coming in quite handy. Let me take a little puff before we get into this show. This fucking lighter here. Let's see. Okay, you go in the scrap pile. Okay, got a whole bunch of lighters on. What I really like is that it doesn't have like a harsh taste. It's very smooth and creamy. You understand what I'm saying? I love the taste of it. You know, I was promoting the runs when nobody really was. I mean, that I seen. I don't. You know what? I'm not lying. I don't even know what the fuck people be promoting. I don't be looking at people. Um, but yeah, you know, I was running with the runs before it became, they got the cop for this year. So look out for this strain and others. You know, might be up there next year. Well, anyway, I wanted to get into this show right here. And hold on, let me bring down my little background. I like my little background to be popping while I'm talking this part. Um, I wanted to talk to y'all about um, black anchoring. You know, how we think that we are promoting this black pride thing over black love. Once again, I say, I don't mind black pride, but it's mandatory to have black love. Black love is something that you'll die for. You put your life on the line for. You love your wife, you love your children. Somebody get in the way of that, you putting your life on the line for it. Pride is like, coming first in the spelling bee, and you got a what you call that, a bumper sticker. Yeah, I'm proud of my child. Look what they did. I can't really do nothing with it outside of them getting some sense of pride out of it. You understand what I'm saying, themselves, and they just keep passing on. But you know that's that. So me myself, I always promote black love first. You understand what I'm saying? You know, love your people to the point that you would die for your people. You understand what I'm saying? Because the things that most of us are being proud of, it's not really to be proud of. You understand what I'm saying? We're celebrating the first. We're still celebrating Jackie Robinson's. The first, Jesse Owens. We're still celebrating, in today's time. We got those same type of people, but in today's time. And it's time for us to stop celebrating, breaking some type of color barrier and, setting up a color barrier then. Setting our own boundaries where we don't let them in. You see, hip hop, we let them in because of the money. We, let them set up labels and, grab artists, and nobody is thinking it's a sense of fame, and, but these are the predators. So it's the same thing. So I want to get into this article where, um, PBS had posted it, and it says opinion. I will not pledge allegiance until America does better, right? I want you to see, I personally, gave a thumbs up, me and a few others. Then you got a couple that gave the heart, and then some who laughed at it. Right? You allowed to your opinion. You allowed to laugh. You allowed to love it. Whatever. I'm neutral. I just support it. When you see the thumbs up from me, it's just support. It don't mean necessarily I'm buying into it or I'm not. I'm not against it. I'm with it. I'm just, not full fledged. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. I would not pledge allegiance. Why would I pledge allegiance to my oppressor? Who does that? Who embraces their oppressor and act like that's a grand thing? Nobody that I know, right? So, if you embracing your oppressor and you pledging allegiance and you running around with flags and I don't care what flag it is, because you might not know what you pledging allegiance to even under that flag. You understand what I'm saying? So, whatever you are a part of, right? You that. So when this person underneath this Al Graves says, I know he meant to say he'll. It goes, he'll be kneeling forever, better off helping his own community, in the off season. Why? Why would that be a better off? Why is that better than the kneeling? I don't understand why is that better than the kneeling when you can. It's like the song WAP, right? You got a song out there, kids everywhere. They hearing the chant, the chant, the chant. They singing that. That song is played 1,000,001 times. Quavo was the Offset, I think it is. Whoever married to Cardi turns around and says, "Oh, that's not true. She's not what she says in that song." How many people you think heard the husband side of it versus the song, right? And so then if you know that way more people is buying into what was said versus anybody challenging what was said, then you know that the kneeling in a broadcast situation that's reaching people around the world can impact more people than you just doing something in your community and they're trying to get it out about how great you are. I'm sorry, you can do both. The kneeling part doesn't affect anything. It doesn't take any time away. So why would this person have a problem with the kneeling? I'm not a kneeler per se, right? I don't have a problem with you kneeling. I support Kaepernick. You understand what I'm saying? I support anything that makes white people uncomfortable. The same uncomfortableness that your mama, your grandmama, you'll fix yourself, or you gotta look right for white man, cause Mister Charlie, you understand what I'm saying, or if you know that era. If you know that you came from that era, gotta look all, your best for church and the singing and the dancing and the shucking and the jiving. If you know that and you know that it was really inside your community, then you know that just getting the word out like that is only gonna do so much when I can do the community thing, but that doesn't affect this. So then I want to get to the second part of what he said, which was instead of putting himself in a submissive position as a man. I'm confused. So is it because he's kneeling as a representation of I'm standing out of that? I'm not standing in that. I'm over here. I'm paying homage to all of the people that's going through the struggle, right? And from that kneeling, comes a rising, right? Because don't they get up right after that and play the game and win, right? And fight and do everything. So whatever you see on that field is a symbolization, right? Like I said, I'm not necessarily into having to take the knee, but to watch the person who took that knee get up and get that victory, get that score, get that tackle, get whatever it is, hustling, doing this thing, being the greatest, and me knowing that number and me knowing that name, you know, and I'm looking as a child, the impact that that has, the symbolization of what that means. You understand what I'm saying? So when you say what you say, Mr. Al Graves, I need answers. You understand what I'm saying? I need you to explain how him taking a knee, right? Um, it means nothing, and how he'll just be better off in the off season. Sound like a white person to me. Sound like a white person protecting white interest because white America don't like it, so you don't like it. Let me tell you something. Anything that white America that doesn't like and you don't like, you got to question yourself on why you don't like it. I'm not saying that there's not certain things is not white America. And sure, black America and their foolishness would try to convince you that too. You understand what I'm saying? So there is an equal ground, meaning like the law of the land. No raping, no murdering, no foulness within inside your community. How could any of these things be white? No, those are not white things. Those are just the laws, right? What becomes white is how you dish out your justice, meaning that, oh, if a black person steal from you is off with the head, a white person gun you down in the streets is marching and crying. See, there's a different type of justice system, and that's what I'm saying within our community. See, our community, we have a law that only applies to us, but we don't make it apply to them. And we'll have so many people within our community fighting that, fighting the fight back. Anything that's a symbolization of a fight back, even a simple knee, you gotta have someone attack your manhood for it and tell you how helping your community in the off season. How is that manly? I mean, because if we're talking about taking a knee is manly, so then that meant that standing up and fighting would be manly, not a community center. That's still not manly. That's letting your dollars speak for you. What are you personally doing? You understand what I'm saying? Because you're looking at the symbolization of the man being seen, right? So then, if being seen kneeling is a sign of weakness, then standing with guns and blackfish power moves and all of that should be a sign of strength. But yet, and still, when you see those type of things, you have a problem with that too. You understand what I'm saying? So the confusion is broad because as long as you can is in cooning, whatever it takes to prevent the people from being upset is cooning as a unit. If you cannot support the unit being upset in any way, if you saying rioting is wrong, you're confused. How could rioting be wrong when history has told you that rioting is not wrong? America is built on rioting. They give you a history book that tells you that. It says clearly a Boston Tea Party, right? Wasn't those riots? Wasn't that whole time the Liberty Tree? Wasn't all of that rioting? When you hear about um um the whole concept of George Washington, right? Crossing the Delaware, 1776, and all of this. This is inside your history. So then, if these are the things that started the greatness, of course they're gonna tell you don't do that. And what has that ever did or solved? What do you mean? How the fuck did we get here? How is America here in this what you call great country, what you call God blessed, right? Didn't it get here because of the fight? God didn't just say, okay, people, we're gonna bump off the Native Americans and we're gonna fight the British and we're gonna enslave the blacks and right? These are the things that they did. They put forward, right? And then they made a history book and bragged about it to install it into the community. But yet they will tell the community, what has that ever done? What has that ever solved? You think about that while you sitting here and you telling this man to take a knee is wrong. Peace. This is your boy Juice Warner with another episode of Smoking Jokes. I'm out.